You are now tuned into Beautiful You, Authentic You Radio. Here are your hosts, Irena Tenen and Nakia P. Evans. Beautifully living, authentically in Christ.
Sunday evening. Welcome back to the Beautiful You, Authentic You radio show. It's your girl, Nakia P. Completely excited to be back. Y'all already know I'm always excited about this show as we are, speaking to different women so that they can share the beautiful and authentic parts of them. I am here with my co-host, Irena Tenen. Are you here, love?
I'm here. How you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you, love?
I'm good. I just realized this is our first show. We took a break for 2 weeks, so I'm excited to be back to talk to two more amazing guests and to have our listeners with us tonight.
Absolutely. So it is our first show of the new year, so Happy New Year, everyone, okay? Happy New Year. This is 2018. We're going to kick it out, rock it out. Dominated. What did you say, Raina? Big things popping this year?
Big things popping. 2018. Yes. That's the theme. Big things popping.
Hey, we're going to be popping it everywhere. That's what I'm talking about. So we do have two amazing guests with us today. Our first guest, we're going to go ahead and bring her on. It is Latia Fisher. Latia, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you, love?
I'm great.
Awesome stuff. Well, first of all, thank you for joining us on the Beautiful You, Authentic You radio show. We're excited to have you. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Tell us who Latia is. Who are you?
Oh, my gosh. I am a lot of things. I am a very loving person. I'm very huge on love. I am a author. I am a poet. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman, and I'm a child of God. So, yeah, I'm a lot of things.
One of the things I like, I can always tell people from Maryland, I love your accent, by the way. I love that. Anytime I hear someone say, where are you from? You from Maryland? Maryland, New York are like my favorite accents ever. Anyway, these past couple of weeks and these next couple of weeks, actually, we will focus on authors or co-authors that will be in my upcoming collaboration called Reflections I Wish I'd Known. I'm so excited. I can't believe it will be out in 9 days, OMG.com. I'm so excited. So you're going to be one of our co-authors. So share with us a little bit, not the entire story. Share with us a little bit because we do want people to purchase. Share with us a little bit about what your story is about.
Just really to sum up what my story is about, I basically wrote about really one main topic. Of course, it spreads into little details, but overall, I speak on the topic of learning to love yourself. I honestly believe that a lot of people, don't know that, and I believe that through experience and growth that you do learn who you are, and you learn to love yourself through your experiences. So that's basically what I talk about in my chapter of the book.
Okay, awesome stuff. Now, for you to choose a topic, was there a certain experience, without too much, a certain situation or experience that you encountered where you had to basically learn to, love yourself and accept yourself?
Mainly my life period. I'm a very giving person, and like I said, through a lot of experiences in my life, I've been through a lot of stuff. But through most of it, I give a lot, and I've given a lot, and sometimes, so much that I didn't have anything left for myself. So I found that there were a lot of, experiences that I did have in my life where I didn't put myself first. I didn't know my worth, and I definitely needed to talk about it in this chapter of the book.
Unfortunately, a lot of women feel that way. A lot of women when they look in the mirror, they don't like what they see.
Mhm.
They don't love themselves, and you can tell either by the way they carry themselves or by the way they allow other people to treat them.
That's true. Very true.
And I know with me, that's something that I dealt with. When I looked in the mirror growing up, I didn't like what I saw. And I think it also has to do with comparing ourselves to other people. You know, we see this person and say, well, I don't have that, or I don't talk like that, or I don't dress like that, or my hair is not like that. So then when you're thinking like that, and then you're looking at yourself, it's like, well, you know, I don't like what I see when I look in the mirror because I don't look like her.
Right.
So I think that we do have to learn exactly who we are and whose we are. That's the key. Learning whose we are, you know.
Definitely.
And I know for me, I didn't know that. I didn't know who I was until I grew up. I didn't grow up in church, so I didn't know anything about whose I was. But when I did learn, it was like, wait a minute. Why I care what she looked like and what she looked like and what she looked like? I'm the bomb myself. I mean, it took a minute.
Because I'm me. Exactly.
Right. And there's nobody else like me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing too. You have to also realize that. So let me ask you, what made you decide to now share your story?
I think it's very important for where I am right now in my own personal life, in my own personal growth, to share my story. Last year for me alone was more of a reflection year. And I took some time to, to look back at some of the things that I had been through, some of the stuff that I allowed to happen to myself. I got rid of, some things that have been hindering me, some things that I've been holding on to, some things that, I didn't need. And I feel like a lot of times that we hold on to things, and God is trying to explain to us, if we let these things go, I can give you what you really are supposed to have. Mm-hmm. And, after reflecting, over so much, I was like, I think it's, now it's time to tell my story. Now it's time for me, to help someone else because, I've gotten through it. I'm getting through it. And, I am learning, now to love myself. I do love me better. Mm-hmm. There is more to me, than what I thought. My worth does matter. And, a lot of other people need to know that too for themselves.
Absolutely. And I love that. I love that you said that, because there are times where God is trying to get us to a point where, he wants to heal us. One thing that I've learned is that I kept a lot of things in, and it wasn't until I began to write and release that I was able to allow God to really heal me. My healing didn't come before I wrote the book. The healing came during the process of writing the book.
Yes, yep, during the process, yep.
Yes, absolutely, because it was through the process that I had to, put those words on paper. That was hard. We don't want to share those intimate, parts of us. We don't want to do that. And so for me, like when God started talking to me about what I was going to write, I was like, really, God? Like, can we not share that? Can we just talk about this?
It was not easy. It was not easy. And it's like, even though I was telling one of my friends, it's like, even though I went through it and everything, why is it so hard for me to actually be able to put it down on paper? Like, what's the problem? Like, I had a hard time writing my chapter to the point where I was like, am I going to get it done in time? I'm like, I had to pray about it because I was just like, oh, my gosh, like, I know what I want to say, but I really can't. Like, it's not really, am I going to say it right? Like, I want to make sure I'm putting it in, the right words so somebody else understands and somebody else gets it, and God don't bless no mess. So, I had to, go over it a couple of times before I actually, was able to get it all out on paper.
Right, absolutely. And it's not easy. Like you said, it's totally not easy. And, even though I'm a co-author in this book as well, I'm excited to hear that we were able to share our stories, as hard as it was, to share our stories in this book, to be able to help empower and share that for someone else to be able to take the just be able to take the words and the inspiration from it and to be able to move forth in it. So I applaud you for that, for being able to share that. Now that you've done this, you've shared your story, you're talking about self-love and things like that, what are you planning to do with this further? Now that you've written these words on paper, what are you trying to do with it now?
I definitely want to do a book tour. I want to do a book tour and to a couple of other cities. My family actually lives in Philadelphia, so I actually want to get, a lot of them to be able to read my book. I want to probably do like either 3 to 4 cities, and I'm also thinking about maybe doing like I'm trying to figure out what I would call it. I guess maybe like not like a seminar, but
maybe like a workshop.
Like a workshop or something. Yeah, maybe like a workshop or something, or some type of event to bring awareness to it, and like to help other people maybe, come together and talk about it and speak on it, what they're feeling, how they're feeling about it, reading my experience, and if it's something that can help them. So basically just to help other women who may also, have been through the same thing that I went through.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said before, a lot of women have, and there's a lot of people that's going through it now. Some people,
yep.
Some people, unfortunately, you're younger than me, so you got to the point before I did. I didn't get to that point where I totally loved myself, and so I was probably in my late 30s, right on the brink of turning 40. So you ain't nowhere near that yet. So I applaud you, and I think that's great that you got to that point, because now at this age in your life, you don't have to worry about now, doing stuff or caring what somebody thinks or says because of this, that, and the other, or worrying about looking like this or that, and you're young. So I think that's great that you came to that, that you learned to love yourself at an early age like that. And I think that doing workshops and anything that you do to share your story, I believe will bless others, even if it blesses just one person. Because, you know how they say you don't look like what you've been through? People look at you and won't see that. They're not going to see that.
Exactly.
So they'll look at you and they'll be like, once you share your story, it's like, oh, wow. She went through that.
I feel like even when a lot of people who know me read it,
right,
they won't even know. So it's
that is
very
so
interesting for them to see and be like, oh my gosh, Latia, you were going through this. Like this whole time, like this is the stuff that you dealt with, and this is the stuff that you were going through. It's so amazing for somebody to actually see, this person was actually going through that, but they didn't look like it. I mean, you mean to tell me you were going through this all this time? But it just goes to show the person that, you can get through it. Like, yes, I was going through it. I went through it. I overcame it. And, now this is what you see. So I think that's, really good.
So how do you feel about people reading your story?
I was a little nervous at first because you these are personal.
Right.
They are personal. I was a little nervous at first, but I think that it's a good thing because it'll explain the changes that they see in me. Mm-hmm. Because I know a lot of people are like, you're glowing more. There's this new Latia, but it's really not a new Latia. It's really a better Latia. Right. And they're like, they're saying, certain stuff about you. It's not a new Latia. It's a better me. It's me, it's me finding myself. It's me, loving myself, learning who I am, doing the things that make me happy. So it's a better me. And I think a lot of people, it'll, give them some, it's not no hold you high, but this is a better her. Because people have already seen the changes. So, but it'll be interesting to get the feedback from everyone as well.
And I like that, and, now that you understand that it's you, it's just a better you, it's the you that, accepts herself, loves herself, she understands who she is, who she's called to be, that is the whole powerful aspect of a woman in God, that's my definition of it. So you've done all this, you have this, and you're doing it. So what else is next? Like, I know that you said you're doing seminars for your store, but what else is it to you that you're going to do as far as business and ministry or anything else that you have coming up?
I co-own a mobile sip and paint business with a business partner of mine, and we've been in business for almost 3 years now. So that's doing pretty well. Last year, we started a non-for-profit for the youth in our city, and that's been going really good. But we are working towards getting more volunteers and grant money so we can actually, start a program and keep it going. Because the gist of the way that we see things is if we give these kids something to do, then, they can't become violent. They won't go to the streets. Like, they need something, when you've gotten rid of recreation centers and things like that, and there's just not as many things for these kids to do anymore. And we noticed last year when we started the non-for-profit how the kids were very attentive, how we had guest speakers and they were listening and they were asking questions and they were so involved. And it's these kids they want a voice. They want to know that someone's listening and that someone cares. So that has become really important to us. So we're doing all that we can this year to make that a little bit stronger, as well as actually taking our business to a new level where we actually go into full entrepreneur mode, and we're just basically running our business, period. And we're trying to take that also into yearly contracts into healthcare facilities. So as well as the business that I have that I co-own, I also my brand name is Poems by Tia. I'm branded, and I also do my own greeting cards, and that's been a big hit for me over the years. And I just want to get better in doing that and promoting that a little bit more, because also when I started doing the business with the other co-owner, it took a lot away from me branding Poems by Tia. So this year I do want to get more involved in my separate brand as well, so I can promote that more so people can learn a little bit more about me and my poetry and everything else that I do with my poetry, like wedding performances and all that type of stuff too, because I do a lot of things. So just basically I'm basically just working on my businesses. I do have my very own poetry book that I published last year that a lot of people don't even know that I have. And I need to work on, getting that out there more too, marketing that more so, people know that's out there, because that will be a year old next month. So, but I'm pretty busy. I got a lot of stuff going on.
But I think that's great. And I think that all the things, everything that you named impacts people in some kind of way. Even with the mobile paint. That's a time for people to get together and have fun and fellowship and paint, yep. And then people don't make time for that. So that's great. And then I always tell people anything that you do that makes it convenient for somebody else is a big money maker. So with a mobile paint company, you're going to them, right? You're going to their location.
Yep.
See, look at that. You ain't got to worry about where to go. You just go to them. They just get the people. We set up. We paint. There it is. So I think that is awesome. I think that's awesome. You got to do more promoting with your book, your poem book. You got to know. You got to know. You got to make
I think what happens is, and a lot of times they say, normally when you're working on something, try to finish that and then move forward. But when we started the business kind of went like full blown, and that had all my attention. That it literally happened right after like my book came out. So it was kind of like, I got to give this all my attention. I really don't have time for this over here. So it's kind of like you got to work on one thing and get that done. But then all my time just went to the business, and before you know it, like a year done passed, and half the people don't even know I have a book.
Right.
So
yeah, that is so true. And I think that what we don't realize is that time goes. We say it, but I don't think we really realize how fast time goes. I mean, I kid you not. It seems like just yesterday. I kid you not. That we was bringing in 2017. I kid you not. It just seemed like just yesterday.
It went by fast.
Yes, the whole year. I mean, every day at work, I was like, oh, my God, it's February. Oh, my God, it's about to be summer. Oh, my God, it's Christmas. Now, here we are in 2018. I mean, the time goes so fast. So I think it is important that whatever it is that we desire to do, that we do it. We can't put it off because tomorrow's not promised.
Definitely.
Right? So I can understand.
That's so weird that you said that. So weird that you said that. I had a performance yesterday, my first poetry performance of 2018, And I went and I said, God brought me with a message. And the message is that if you think it or you dream it, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. If you think it, if you dream it, do it. Like if that thought comes to your mind, and I was just sitting up here talking to my best friend about it earlier, like, I swear everything that I've thought of so far, I've done. I thought it, and I just did it.
That's good. Most people can't say that. Most people can't say that.
And I know that can be scary, but if you don't think like that, then you'll allow yourself to have all these ideas and all these goals and dreams and stuff, and they'll just be sitting. And you don't want to do that. Like, you gotta be like, if this is coming to me, it has to be coming to me for a reason. There has to be a reason that I'm thinking about this. There has to be a reason that I've seen this and it brought a thought to my mind, or, it has to be a reason that I've been doing this for a while. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe this is my passion. And you just got to do it.
Awesome sauce. I love that. So what we're going to do is, can you tell the audience, like, exactly how they can, connect with you as far as maybe, pre-ordering the book or anything as far as your business? Can you tell us how we can stay in contact with you?
Sure. My Facebook page is Poems by Tia. My personal page on Facebook is Latia Fisher Ojo. My IG is Poems by Tia. And all the information for the book for Reflections and my poetry book as well can be found on any of my social media pages. And I'm actually going to add the link to Reflections to my business page for Poems by Tia to make it more easier for people to be able just to click on, because you can put it in your bio now. So just be able to go in there and click on there from directly to be able to order. And pre-orders are still going on right now until January the 15th. So they can just go right on the link and click on the link from my Poems by Tia page.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Latia, we want to thank you, honey. Thank you for taking the time out to share with us and allowing our listeners to get to know you and who you are and about your upcoming projects. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to share with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a little short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next guest.
The one thing you didn't see coming, and no one would blame you, though. If you cried in private, if you tried to hide it away, so no one knows, no one will see if you stop believing. Oh, my soul, you are not where fear has to face the God you know. One more day, He will make a way. Let Him show you how you can lay this down, 'cause you're not alone. Honest, I won't try to promise that someday it all works out, 'cause this is the valley, and even now He is breathing on your dry bones. And there will be dancing, there will be beauty where beauty was where fear has to face the God you know. One more day, he will make a way. Let him show you how you can lay this down. 'Cause you're not alone. Oh my soul, you're not alone.
Hello, loves. Welcome back to the Beautiful You, Authentic You radio show. It's your girl, Nakia P. We just had an amazing time with our first guest, Latia Fisher. Such an awesome testimony that she shared on self-love. And, you know, she gave out her information so that you can make sure that you connect with her. So do that, okay? So we are back for our second half, all right? And I am here with my lovely co-host, Irena. Are you here, love?
I'm here. How you doing?
I'm ready for a second half. Ready for the second half. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. We have our second guest with us, Tony Freeway. Tony, are you here?
Yes. Hi, this is Tony Freeney. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you, love?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. And as we get started, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Tony?
All right. Well, thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Miss Tony. That is my author name. And I am going to be 45 years old very soon, so I am a proud mother of 2 children, a son that's 11 and a daughter that's 10. I have an amazing husband. I am a new author thanks to the amazing Miss Irena, who gave me an opportunity to share my story, which I've been holding on to for about 25 years, literally. And I am a business owner myself. I'm an entrepreneur in network marketing. I also have a company called Freedom Virtual Staffing, doing I'm a little bit nervous, actually, if that's even possible, but the call center. I help women, or anybody, not just women, but people that would like to work from home, to be able to work from home. So I was an ex-military spouse, so I kind of traveled the world, in that aspect. So I carry a lot of different hats. I have a bunch of books inside of me, if you will. So, yes, Miss Tony, the one and only, I'm here.
So we are glad to have you, and thank you for introducing yourself and telling us who you are. You are a woman that wears many hats. I think a lot of women, we just wear all kind of hats. We wear hats for ourselves, hats for everybody else. We just all got all kind of hats going on. I'm so glad that you are in my book. This is my first collaboration. This is your first time sharing your story publicly. So can you share with us just a little bit? Can't let me tell everything now. We got to get the people out. But share just a little bit about what your story is about. A story you've been holding on to for, what did you say, 25 years?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay,
ma'am.
share with us
yes,
a little
ma'am.
bit about what that's about.
I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Well, I'm not gonna get deep, so I won't get too emotional. But literally, when I say, okay, I'm not. But literally, like when I say 25 years, Urena can attest to this. That I showed her a folder with actual documents, from this situation that I went through as a 19-year-old teenager, basically, and it was kind of my real first, job, and it's kind of, about what's going on right now. What's the hashtag, Urena? I don't know. They got a hashtag to it right now. I don't know. I can't think of it, like the sexual harassment hashtag.
Me too.
Me too. So it's just really kind of ironic that, my story is actually coming out at this time, which is kind of weird to me, actually. And like I said, I've been waiting so long to share this story, and I got so emotional with writing it. Like, it brought up, I really kind of thought I was over it. And I had a big grand plan about when I was going to write this book. I was going to be like this movie star or something when I wrote this book. To like say, hi, I got you, you know, but it's not really turning out like that. But it's so amazing that this book is about reflections, being that I am totally like going through reflections, going on 45 years old. And I think Urena probably knows a little about what I'm going through because she's been there, you know, and a lot of women go through that, I guess, you know, when you get, you know, I've had my milestone birthdays and I always kind of freak out, like I just do. And this is one that I'm doing that with. So to be reflecting back on this situation, which I feel had a real great impact on my life, and I used to think about it negatively, but obviously if that situation had worked out the way I had intended it, you know, my plan, not God's plan, of course, it, you know, my life would have turned out a lot different. I wouldn't be the person that I am today, obviously. You know, I wouldn't have my children, and I wouldn't have lived in Hawaii or lived in Japan and, you know, all of that. So, you know, with that being said, you know, my faith kept me going. You know, I'm always willing to put in the work. And, you know, I'm just happy to be evolving so on this plane and able to share, you know, able to really help the next person, because we don't realize how many people are walking in the same exact shoes, or how many people, you know, when I saw some of the, you know, excerpts from when Urena put up from the book, it grabbed my soul. Like, wow, you know, her mother said that to her too. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, like, you know, I thought that was the only person that her mother said that would say something like that to her, you know. So it's deep. Yeah, it's deep, ladies.
All right. Now, you know, with that, you know, the story that you shared and you know, you explained about how hard it was, you know, putting it into the book, and you had envisioned, you know, how you would do it and things like that. Now that you've written that, like, how has your life changed since just being able to write it and then submit that in? Has there been a change there?
Well, it has been a change as far as I've started now, so I must finish, and I definitely will write a book, you know, about my complete story. So that has definitely, you know, catapulted me into being a full author, in which, you know, I feel that, you know, is my calling. Definitely, I have many books inside of me. So, so I definitely changed my life as far as, you know, making me a new author and making me feel, I guess, certified, if you will. So, it's kind of like I have to do it now. So, you know, and it is a little difficult, like I said, because of my own, you know, life. And then, you know, like I said, having a different vision of my position in life when I was going to write this book. But again, it's not my plan, because I, you know, people that love me have told me that this is an excellent position to write this book from. So, you know, it's definitely helping me to go ahead and write my own book and get my story out there, you know, my full story.
Yeah, I think that that's one thing I think is great about anthologies, because you get just a little bit of time to share just a little bit that have people wanting more. So it's like an open door for, it's like, okay, I shared a little bit in this. Now I'm going to write my own so you can see the full story. So I think it's a great way to kind of get people to know who you are, a little bit about what your story is about, and then they're waiting and anticipating your story, your full story, to come out. So I think it's great. And you know, it didn't even dawn on me until you just said it, that with all the sexual harassment charges coming out now, that is what your story is about. But it didn't even register with me that your story and everything that's going on is hitting right now at the same time. That did not even register until you just said it. I'm like, oh my God, that is right. And that's one of the reasons I wanted your story, not because of that, is because it's different. You don't really, you know, when you read, at least when I read a lot of anthologies, I don't hear much about sexual harassment. I may hear molestation, sexual assault, or rape, but I don't really hear sexual harassment in the workplace. I really don't read too much of that. So that was one of the reasons that I wanted that type of story in this book. So why do you think now is the time, after 25 years, why is now the time to share your story?
Well, it's all in God's timing, as you guys were saying earlier today. I guess, when you're in the process of going through, and then, sexual harassment is such a, taboo kind of, touchy subject, you know what I mean? Because when I got introduced to this, I was 19 years old. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that people did these things on the job. I didn't realize that people, because it's actually a common thing, But I didn't know this, I didn't know that. I thought you went to work and did your work and you performed well, which is why I have all of my performances and everything. Like my evaluations were top notch, so I was a very good employee. I felt that was all I should have to do. But it wasn't, it was the norm to actually have, these people were having sex with each other. They were married and that's what they were doing. And I was just really in a culture shock and kind of, I saw politics and I saw the racism. I saw everything at once at 19. And we're talking 92 when I was making, we're talking, I was making $40,000, on this job back then. I didn't want to lose this job. I get to go to school free. My kids get to go to school free. My spouse, I did not want to lose that job. So I fought to keep that job. I got attorneys to try to keep that job, and I won, I guess, by, but did I really win? I don't know. You know what I mean? So to this day, it's a battle for me. But a lot of people don't win. They don't get nothing monetary. They have to walk away from their jobs or give in or whatever, and it's not fair. It's not right.
No, it's not. Now, with that and experiencing that, and now that you've shared it, okay, so what are you planning to do with this after? The book is about to release. You said that, you're just now sharing this. So now that you've shared it, are you planning to take this a step further?
Well, to be honest, yes, I would like to. I have been talking to other people. I've had invites to other blog talks and talk shows and everything, and I plan to do something in the community. But I really want to kind of focus on, the military. It's a lot of people in the military being abused. And so that's kind of, like I said, I spent a lot of time around the military, about 10 years. And so, I kind of want to focus on that area. I have a friend that was, raped in the military. So, that's kind of what I want to focus on, dealing with people that are going through this and to be kind of an advocate to tell them, avenues that they can take, maybe to kind of keep their job or, to deal with it. It's probably a lot better now. Like I said, I haven't really dealt with it in a long time, but back then, it wasn't, I didn't have help. I didn't have a lot of avenues to turn to. So, I would definitely like to maybe start a nonprofit on that, to try to help people that's in that situation, because you lose a lot. I went from A1 credit, down to having to file bankruptcy and all type of stuff, So, it would be a great thing to do that, and definitely, pumping the book up and trying to do a few tours on that as well, some signings and stuff like that. I'm working with one of my friends now that have a club here in the area, so I'm doing what I can right now.
Oh, well, that's great. That's great, and I think that you'll be able to help a lot of people because that is, like you said, a touchy subject, and we still don't really hear a lot about people in the workplace because they're afraid. They're afraid, will they believe me? Or they, so I think that with your story, it will be able to help a lot of people, especially at the age you were when it happened. Because, when you're a teenager, I know when I was a teenager, my first little job was at McDonald's, honey. I wasn't nowhere near making no doggone $40,000. And I think minimum wage back then was like $3.35. But but I think that, as a teenager working, with all we're kids, I was 16, you were 19, but still, it's like me in the workplace at that time, I looked at bosses and coworkers and stuff as kind of superior. So I never would have like said, you know, if somebody would have bothered me or said anything, I probably would have said anything. I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have kept it to myself, you know. So I think because of the age that you were when it happened, I think that will help a lot of other people, especially if you targeted teenagers. Like that's your target of who you're going to talk to, you know, to let them know.
I'm sorry, Ren. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking also, you know, I don't know if I mentioned it in there or whatever, but, you know, being the fact that I don't have a father, you know, that my father isn't in my life, I didn't have a male at home to come home and be like, okay, this older man is messing with me. You know what I mean? So It was like I had to fight for myself. So I had older friends. I always had older males around me that, you know, was my friends that I kind of looked up to as brothers. And, you know, they kind of protect me. But it wasn't like it was a secret. Like, everybody knew this. Like, he would tell people in the locker room. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't, you know, she's mine and stuff. Yeah, so he was like, and I was like, no, you know, I have a boyfriend.
Right.
But, yeah, craziness. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I felt unprotected, you know, and it's a lot of fatherless women, you know, young girls out here who don't have the mind to have a male mentor or someone that they're not having sex with that can protect them. You know, I did that for myself because, you know, I knew it was necessary. So, you know, that kind of helped me too, you know. So that's definitely, you know, they have to stand up for themselves. And most of all, like I said, people just end up giving in because they just really want to keep that job, you know. And,
that's true. They want to keep the job, and then they're concerned with what other people are going to say or think. You know?
Well, imagine if I had my child enrolled in school there, or, you know, I was enrolled in school there, or, you know what I mean, if I had a big old house and a whole bunch of debt, you know, and stuff like that.
Right.
Luckily, I was a teenager. I wasn't thinking on those lines, you know. A few times a year later, you know, I regretted it sometimes. I cried at night about it. I mean, I went through a lot, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, it wasn't easy for me. But I think if I was an older woman or a person that had a lot established and was really invested in everything like that, I don't know what I would have did. You know what I mean? So.
Right. That's true. That's true. Well, I sure appreciate you taking the time to share your story now in my first collaboration. I'm excited. I'm excited about all the stories. Like you said, those excerpts, which I'm going to post more, they are very powerful. And it's like when I was reading them, it was like, wow, I don't know if I would have, you know, how I would have dealt with that, or how, wow, they went through that, or, ooh, they survived, they made it. So I believe that the book will be very, very impactful. I believe it will bless many. I believe it will bless many. How do you feel about other people maybe that may not know your story reading it? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, you know me, Rain. I'm pretty much an open book of what's public information. But as far as this story, actually, I haven't talked about it a lot, really, with recent people in my life because, like I said, it's a 25-year-old story, so it's not something that I actually walk around and talk about, you know, here as of recently. So people that know me in, you know, my new life, they don't, you know, pretty much don't probably even know about it. And then, you know, like I said, I'm using my author name, so it's not, you know, but yeah, I feel great, actually. I feel good because, you know, I want people to know that, you know, what I've been through. A lot of people that know me don't know this story, you know, about what I've been through. And, you know, I think that it will help people to understand a little bit more about me because, you know, I like to joke a lot and stuff like that. And sometimes people don't see the serious side of me. And, you know, so they get to see that. You know, my degree is in criminal justice, you know, or in criminal justice, so administration of justice. So yeah, I'm a legal girl, you know, so I get down with that stuff. I've had 11 lawsuits that I've won.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. But thank you so much for having me, though. Yes, I've already had some books sold, in the pre-sale. We're still striving to sell more, so hopefully I have some of my family on the call listening. So if you guys are listening, please make sure that you get a copy of the pre-sale book so you can save you some money and support your girl.
And tell people how to reach you and how to get the book from you.
Okay, and you can get it from my PayPal, and then what is it? PayPal me. Dot or is it? How does it go?
PayPal.me.
Okay.
// / and then whatever the name is.
Is it //
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So PayPal.me / capital SLOW capital NATURAL capital HAIR. And then you can just go ahead and put $16.50, and that will take care of shipping in the U.S. If it's outside the U.S., then you would need to contact me about additional shipping. And you can contact me on Facebook or anywhere on the internet, MRZTONI.
All right, awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so very much for just coming on and sharing your story with us, Tony, sharing what you're doing. I totally think that this is going to be awesome. I'm excited for the book to release so we can read each other's stories, so we can see how powerful it is. So I'm excited for that. So thank you so much for just, popping through and hanging and rocking it out with us for a little bit.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm happy for you as well. I'm excited to read the whole book. I should be having it soon. I'm going to be putting my order in. I have a couple of more orders that I need to put in, so I want to just put them all together. But, yeah, I'm definitely excited about reading the book. And, I can't wait to read the whole thing, and I can't wait to go ahead and finish up my book as well. And, thank you guys for having me.
Not a problem, and definitely looking forward to, your book as well so we can support as well. So thank you again. And to all of our listeners, thank you so much for rocking it out with us again another Sunday evening. We greatly appreciate it. We've had an awesome time with Tony and Latia today. And y'all know me, like I'm always excited. I'm always ready to go. And this has been amazing as always. Irena, is there anything that you would like to share before we close this out?
I just want to thank everybody for taking time out of their Sunday evening to come on and listen to us one more again. We look forward to our weekly shows, and I hope that they do too, and I hope that they share and tell everybody, because we have a lot of amazing guests that we plan to bring to you within the next couple of weeks, months, and this whole entire year. Thank you guys for calling in. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place.
All right. See you, love.